gonna let this plane go, okay? Hi, everybody. I know there's still people just trying to rush and get over here. I'm just going to give it a few minutes before I start. I figured a way to talk about something that is the root cause of everything. And so it's kind of going to be like, I don't want to say all purpose, but I'm going to say that it hits the mark of everything that is messing with in terms of money, in terms of love, in terms of things happening in the world that is actually really, really good for you and you don't even know why. And so let me start out this way, very simply, okay? For those that don't know who I am, my name is Michal, and I am a Heyoka Empath. Hi, Nelly! I'm so happy. I'm just going to do this for you, okay, sweetheart? I was, one of my top clients is here. I'm so fucking proud of this girl. She's a baby chick, and I could just cry. She makes me so proud. You don't know the leaps and bounds this little one has taken. It's not easy to listen to do things, especially with a boyfriend or your life, when you're so isolated from the world and used to depending on certain people that are more controlling you than actually helping you develop and helping you, what's the word? Envelop? No, what's the word? To help you take in all that you are so that you actually blossom and you actually have a very poignant pollen rather than a thorn, because you'll know as a woman right away when you are actually being enhanced by your family, by your friends, by anyone who really loves who and what you are, that you will elevate an energy. You just get excited. When my clients are with me, those that are in line with me, they're excited. Are they excited to see me? Well, maybe, but more or less, they're already conditioned that they know when they see me, their energy is going to be high. And oh, thank you. Okay, that's it. I'm crying. You know, it's yes, excited to see. Okay, so let me just put a little clip on in my hair. I I just gotta. I can't find the clip now. 1 second. This clip is important because I don't want my. Okay, so now I can't find the clip. Okay, so I guess we're not going to worry about the clip right now. Okay, we're not going to worry about it. I'm just going to continue with what it is that I was talking about while quickly looking for my clip. But okay, it's not here. We'll just let it go. The reason I was kind of switching on to different things in my mind is that maybe my clip is over here. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay, I guess I'll find it once I'm finished, but it's okay. We'll just go like this, okay? You make me feel so happy. It's all good. You know, the word love bomb is thrown around everywhere. And 1 second. When you hear that word, it's usually associated dates and stuff like that. But just while it's on my mind, because some people can accuse you of love bombing them, but here's the way to tell the difference. When someone can see into you, who you really are, unfinished, unpolished, messy, and find the fucking beauty in you completely disheveled, they are an accurate mirror. As a Heyoka empath, that's what I am. I'm a mirror. So I can see the diamond that's being pressed out of the coal. And the more pressure, oh, oh, the more you shine. So I know what I'm seeing, but this is how you can tell. When someone, and this is why I stay away from labels, those that come to me as my clients now, over 3,000, and mostly from TikTok, but it started out from YouTube, like 3 years ago when I had another channel, but this has been completely revamped. So I welcome all my new people here. Your energy inside you, it can't fuck with you. Just like your mind, it can work with you and it can work for you, but it can also turn against you, depending on whose energies are around you to mess with your mind. But you see, your gut will never call you a loser, and it never yells. It never yells to intimidate you. It never says things like, you can't do this and all this. It doesn't yell. It's a soft whisper. And it gets louder, more profound in authority and a firm assurance when it knows you're listening. But if it doesn't know you're listening and you keep muting it, it just gets quieter and quieter and quieter. Because just like anything from God is not forced, anything from light, call it creator energy, is not forced. Because you weren't made from force. You were not made from hate. You were made from love. So don't you think that what you need to experience here is love? Don't you think that struggle and misery and people putting you down, including family, whatever, like that, you're not supposed to feel that. You weren't made from that. But you see how people can mess with you? But that's why you have a foolproof and foolproof body that won't lie to you, because energies can't lie and they can't hide and they can't die. And so when your girlfriend or boyfriend or someone's saying, oh, they love bombed you, oh, she love bombed me, anyone who love bombs you doesn't have the ability to really see you. And it resonates in your bones where you get goosebumps all over. When you have a visceral effect, that's your body, your nervous system, and your soul resonating with the energy of the words from the person who's speaking the things they speak. That's why when someone says a lot of nice things, and you're kind of a little embarrassed, but you're not anchored, you're just more enthralled, that's fake. That has an agenda. And you will be very easily swayed and enthralled when you're a woman that has shifted, due for your reasons, into a distorted masculine, or a man that has shifted into his distorted feminine. So everything triggers you. And the same with the distorted masculine. She shuts down and says nothing. That's why she doesn't hear her own voice. That's why she uses her mind. She gets fucked over. Because you'll always meet someone smarter than you. Of course you can. I've been traveling the world for the last almost 3 years now, touring my first book, The Wisdom of the Penis. Check it out. And I'm going to read a little bit from it in a little while. After I give you a significant amount of information, give you a chance to ask me any questions, and or if you'd like to have any live coaching, if you have an issue with a boyfriend, with a mother, a father, a girlfriend, or you're a guy and you don't really know how to pick up a woman's energy properly and connect so it sizzles, go with me. Because I promise you, if you can make me sizzle, there's no one that can resist your sizzle. Because I'm unsizzleable. I will only sizzle when it's real sizzle. So most women won't, because their body's not working. It doesn't resonate to them that it's real or it's not real or anything like that. So just moving on, those that know me, I'm a Heyoka empath, which means I receive gifted insight. You know, a lot of people call it wisdom. And I wrote a book, and it took me 12 years. It's on Amazon now. I released it a little short while ago. It's called The Wisdom of the Penis, SOS manual. And no, I'm not joking. Oh, and what? What? You don't, you don't think there's a wisdom to the penis? What? You think it just gets lucky or something? Oh, no. Oh, no. There is. I guarantee you there is a wisdom to the penis. And one day, in some kind of a production, and I have that in mind to do, and if you know an investor or producer, send him right over because he will be blown away. I am going to give the insight to that title, The Wisdom of the Penis. And I am telling you, as sure as my life, no one, not one person. And we can take bets. I can take bets now, but you'll all lose your money. I'm letting you know right now, no one will disagree with the insight of what I have to say. It's just, insight is something most people don't see with the naked eye. And as a Heyoka empath, as a mirror and an energy disruptor of negative energies, meaning when you come in front of me for a session and you feel like shit, I slap that right out of you really quickly. Not literally slap that out of you, but it's more like a cosmic slap. But the things that I am instructed, pulled to say, it is a complete match to your blueprint, and it unlocks you from being hidden to you. That's all it takes. It takes one person to see your fucking value. One person. Oh, I have you crying. Yeah, I've been cosmic. I've been slapping this girl a little while. My top client right here. She's taken it very well. She's taken it very well. And it's funny because sometimes I have my clients jump on here and go, don't listen to her. She sounds like a real bitch. That's not how she is, because when you actually go on, she will cry with you. In fact, she'll cry first because she feels what you're going through first, and that gives you permission to cry. But I do appear this way, like a pit bull with lipstick, because I only want those that want it so bad to alter and change the way shit is going on in their life, that they don't care what it'll entail. They've tried therapy, they've done all these other things, they're very pulled to my energy, they've listened to many vids. For those of you who are here on my channel, I also have a TikTok channel, 154,000 people, followers, almost 1 million likes. It's called I Love Heyoka. That's my first channel. My second channel, relatively new, at 400 now. I'm so proud because it's totally a different bent. Is called Michal Divine. And on the first channel, it's all masculine and feminine energies. And you know what? I've watched feminine coaches butcher that. I've watched them teach women sneaky shit. I've watched them teach men the top things to just, that's really sneaky shit. And what I do in my channel, and what I'm so honored to do, is to show you how to do exalted shit. Exalted because no one can resist that, because it's pure. And when you do show up in a pure way, guess what else happens? Okay, coming back. When anyone has anything in the body that is off, whether it's eczema, whether it's sprained ankle, whether it's a pimple, whether it's problems with your chest, a backache, a knee problem, every one of those things is your body being in dis-ease with its energy, meaning you're telling your heart to like go fuck off and die, basically. I'm just going to tell you, because you don't want to hear, and especially you don't want to say how it really fucking feels that the person is evoking from you, or their energy expectation, energy demanding, energy controlling, energy which a lot of guys control, they think is care. Possessiveness, they think is love. That's like very prehistoric 3D mentality. 3D, for those that don't know, is like the current dimension. It's having an addictive quality of an attachment to guilt, to blame, to shame, to pain. And you'll know you're in there because you're the first to blame everyone, because you won't even say, what is it about me that I got attracted to this person? Which brings me back around. I know I'm going all over the place, but if you want me to extrapolate on anything I've said or elaborate on it, please just ask me in the questions. What we hold, we host. So if we are holding an energy that is disruptive to our system, we will host a disease. If we are holding victimhood, then we will host a predator. If we are holding, I'm so stupid, I can't figure it out yet, I don't know why, I keep trying and then it doesn't go, and I keep trying and it doesn't go, and all these kind of things, then, and you're holding that energy, then you're going to host people to ridicule you, criticism. And that's why, and you can check on Google, the women today, 80% of them, 30, 25, 20% of men, 80% of women have autoimmune diseases. Why? Because they're turning their back on their feelings. What do you think makes you as a woman? Your business? No. How much money you make? No. Because the ethereal, amazing, magnetic allure, and just the fact that you can stand next to a guy who's attracted to you and enhance his whole entire fucking immune system, which if I were you, I would send a bill. That woman who is such an electric charge for a man's well-being, for his money, she's the magnetic essence that brings shit to him. That's who you are. But a lot of you aren't, because you're not in your divine feminine. You're in your distorted masculine. You live in your mind. So you're not creating, you're miscreating with your mind. And you're also misunderstanding life, thinking it's just natural to suffer. It's just natural to grind and work hard, and I shouldn't expect too much and all this. Or if I do, it lets me down. I don't know what to believe anymore. That's understandable. So let me put some clarity to that. A lot of you are waiting for something good to happen. You've worked at it. You've tried it. You want a better job. You want your guy to change. You're waiting. You want your family to be different. You're waiting. You're in a shitty situation. You're waiting. You're dating and fucking so drained. You've used all different apps and you're still waiting to find the one. So, what if it wasn't about the waiting? Meaning, how do you know spring is coming? How does spring know spring is coming? Because in the dead of fucking winter, how do we, we're conditioned, but we don't see spring. We don't see spring. We're in the dead of winter. We're getting warm, we're doing extra things, we're maybe eating more, maybe drinking more, maybe inside more. But if you're smart, you're training more, because that's the best time to train. That's where bears go and sleep. That's how they train, all these kind of things. If maybe perhaps we switch our ideology from waiting for that good thing to happen to asking ourselves, especially when you're in the same situation 2-3 times, same guy, same shitty job or whatever, instead of waiting because you put out some resumes and this and that, you're a whole different person, but you're in the same situation. You ask instead, what am I becoming during this? Who am I becoming? Who? What? Who am I becoming right now? Because that's why you're in it. Because that's a spiritual gym. And then you could be asking, what is this time here right now trying to make me see? Teach me. What is it teaching me? You know, when I was a little girl, I don't know why I had this conversation with my mom, but she said to me, and my mom was from another planet also. She said to me, you learn even from a stupid person. Let me repeat that, because there had to be noise, because it's so fucking important. You learn even from a stupid person. So can we look at that and also say, and I feel a lot of pain from a lot of you as a Heyoka empath, and I hope there's no one with a backache, because I'll start to feel my back or my neck. I used to have a girl, she had a neck issue, and I used to say to her, go to someone, get it fucking fix it, because I keep feeling pain and I know you're here. She says, yeah, it's me. I said, or come to me, I'll fix it in a second. It was hilarious. So I'm feeling emotion, so I'm just going to let it run through me, okay? But perhaps, given that you learn from even a stupid person, and let me tell you what you learned. Okay, I'll go, wait, how can I set this up? If you can be patient, I'm going to tell you how you can learn from a stupid person, okay? But if we take that framework that we can learn from a stupid person, then maybe we can apply it to our situation in which we're waiting, and we can say, okay, well, maybe it's already appeared. Maybe what we're waiting for is silence, to make us comfortable in that silence. Maybe what we are waiting for is to be betrayed, so that it wakes up a fire in us, and we know we need to shift without these people and family, let's say. Maybe what we're waiting for is a cold to knock us out for 5 days, so that, God forbid, I know people who train hate missing training days, but sometimes you can't train for a while. What does that do? You were in the grind of training, of working, and then all of a sudden you're flat on your bed for 5, 7, 10 days. And what happens when you get better? You're not depressed anymore. You're fucking excited as fuck. Oh my God, I can't wait to see my people at work, even though they annoyed me. I miss them. Oh my God, I'm going to gym. I'm going to go slow, step by step, but now I'm going to eat every second of it. So maybe what we think we're waiting for, we already have. Because we need that to be filled inside of us in order for the other thing to happen. If we were to assume, let's say for instance, that perhaps God knows what he's doing. Universe knows what it's doing. Creator and creation knows what it's doing. It's not fucking pleasant. But what really helps is when you have insight into what the fuck is going on. It's always to elevate. You never stay the same unless you repeat the pain and repeat the pain until you hit a bottom that, again, you break apart and you do not stay the same. So I suggest for us to just shift this week and see what happens, because I'll tell you something. A miracle never happens to the desperate. And money doesn't chase desperate. By the time you get that check or that money or that opportunity or that new boyfriend, it's not on your mind. You've settled in a different way. So perhaps what needs to happen is your heart, because it's no longer waiting for the thing. And it's like, well, what if I already have what it is I need to have right here and now? Your heart would be open. And now when you go to Starbucks, you actually look at this person that has glasses. You don't like guys with glasses, but I don't know, something about his cologne made you look and you're like, oh, he's fucking hot as fuck. Okay, yeah, thank God he has the glasses or I'd be on the floor. Things will change. Life and all the gifts can't be given when you're like this, scared. It can't be given when your nervous system is backpedaling, because the people who are around you are saying things that it's not what they mean. So even when it's positive, it's like a hit on the head. It's like your stomach sunk, but they said something like, you know, I'll probably be okay. Probably? What do you mean probably? What is probably? Now I have to worry about probably if it isn't? No, you don't. Those aren't friends. You don't want friends that are not at least where the fuck you are. So celebrate. Celebrate. If you have no one to fuck with your energy and you're growing your fire, and only hook up, especially if it's the same sex, they're gonna be envious when they see that nothing bothers you. I remember, I think I was a teenager for sure, like sweet 16, something like that. I went to the beach all by myself. I'm not one with friends. Although I always had one best friend at the time that was either a bully transformed into bodyguard / friend, because they wanted to go at me, and I gave them my insight and AKA wisdom as to why what they thought they heard about me or what they thought I did was misinterpreted, and it resonated with their body. And they'd hug me and it's like, if you ever need a bodyguard, I'll break their neck. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Donna Smith, a big fat freckle girl, whatever. And or the most popular bitch becomes your friend because you give her insight about your life. So that was my life as high school, junior high, and I think in public school I was just people just kept away from me, except, and I don't know how the fuck this happened, but a religious Jewish boy. All I remember is the classroom taunting us, fight, fight, fight. I don't know. And then he took me and flipped me on the floor. You know what those floors are like, right? They're like not marble, but very shiny. This part of my head, like this far out, no joke. And I actually heard the bells. I don't know where that comes from, but it was interesting. And I don't know how I made it down the hallway, like leaning. And I was just scared to come home and have my dad see it. I don't know, I just had fear. And he freaked out. He didn't go to the school or anything. But his friends suggested to put a knife against him, precedent of which I have never prayed to God so hard at that moment. Thank God my dad didn't do some shit like that. And yes, the nurse brought the boy in to apologize when I was lying there. That's all I remember about public school. But junior high and high school was more like someone out to get me and the most popular girl. And so those were my best friends, one at a time. And or a big talent showcase and two films or two dance things or two plays, and I would always get in each of them. So popularity again. So when I went to this beach by myself, I had the Bible with me. You know, a lot of people say, whether it's a guy who gets out of his car when I'm sitting on the grass and he's like, I just had to tell you, I think you're gorgeous. And I was like this, nothing on, just sitting on the grass. It was hilarious. And I laughed in his face, and I think he almost fell down the hill. I just found it really funny. I guess because I sensed it wasn't, it was like he was daring himself to do something bold. It wasn't like someone with big balls who's like not leaving without my number, not leaving with finding out enough about me, even have to sit next to grass and look at all my handles, my media, to offer something that would be of use to all my projects. It wasn't someone like that. But it's interesting that this guy also said, you know, I'm not used to women who are so well-spoken like you. I was well-spoken because I was intact. You know, I don't get blown away when someone says you're beautiful, something like that, like a lot of you might. And I encourage my ladies also not to. But it's difficult if you're in a distorted masculine and you don't know your power as a woman, how you affect a man, then you will be knocked off. But I've always had people say the first few minutes I speak is, wow, you're so spiritual, or wow, that sentence was very, very deep. I'm like, oh my God, that was common sense, but okay, I'll just keep it to myself. And then they'll hit me back with, I read a lot of spiritual books. And I'll go, okay, I don't read spiritual anything. But if I do read, I do like to open up the Bible. So I had it with me. It's not like I advertised it. I just had it under my arm. And I went to a part of the beach. And to my right, my peripheral vision is very sharp. And my hearing is supersonic. And I read lips, okay? So there's 3 babes on a blanket. And all I hear is the chief babe look my way while I'm sitting there very poised. And I'm just reading and just reading. And she's like, look at that bitch. Just look at that bitch. I didn't turn. I didn't feel negative. Because it didn't matter that the words were, just look at that bitch. Because the energy was exalted. And then what came after, just look at that bitch. It's like she doesn't need anybody. She was envious in a very kind of, I'm thinking out loud type of way. So that to me was, wow, am I Wonder Woman? A lot of my women have wondered, they've called me Miracle Woman. I've had some guys call me a magical unicorn, although I don't kind of imagine the horn thing. Am I Wonder Woman? In what way? I am so filled with grace in the sense that I'm not filled with gratitude and in the sense that, oh, I got to say a bunch of these every day and then good things will happen. I really feel the grace of how much I have to give to you. And not only is it reflected daily because I have something going on, it's what I call my Forbidden Collective, in which, and if you want to get on that, it's 33 monthly, game changer. Every single day I leave voice notes of insights for that day. And it's sometimes 15, 20 minutes. And it will be uncanny how I seem to tune in to the pulse of the public of my group. So you let me know if you want that. While it's still at 33. And we're going to cap it off, after we have a certain amount. That'll be it, because I need to tune into what everybody needs to hear in terms of their issues. And they can always text me in advance, I'm having a problem with this, and then I just give direct insight. So it almost feels like I'm there with you one-on-one. And but a lot of people aren't aware of their value. They're too busy misconstruing everything, because you're in an energy that is opposing your very nature. So you have to be in an intellect that puts a dagger in your eyes, especially your third eye, because it has to point out everything that's off, what you will know as wrong. I don't use words like right and wrong, because I don't live in a linear mindset. Those women that use right and wrong are the same women who blame, the same women who look for pros and cons. And you know why you do that? Because you can't even hear your gut scream, yes, I want, let's go there, let's do this. You don't hear that. And if you do, you're like, okay, but let me think of what fear can happen, this and because your brain, when it's distorted, and you being in a masculine energy, which rules logic, this logic in a distorted fashion doesn't make you see things logical. It challenges you logically as to why you can't put up with more, to prove that you are stronger and can handle pain, because guess what? That's what you are. Not a woman, a soldier. And I'll prove it to you. Because the last person you were with, the last place that you worked, or the last family member outing, whatever holiday that you had, after the first, second, third time they murdered your heart and turned it into cottage cheese, moldy cottage cheese, did you leave? Did you say never again and stick to it? Or did you accept a sorry, but they didn't even feel the remorse of your fucking pain? So you accepting that sorry is like get out of jail free card to give them an opportunity to do it again, which they did, especially the guy or the girl, again and again and again and again. And so where is the logic of going again and again? Because if you were in business and you hired someone to make you money, and again they kept losing money, you wouldn't keep going with them. But here, you're a soldier, because you're locked in your mind. That's why you always worry. And let me tell you what worrying is. Worrying's it's almost like a prayer. It's a focus on everything. It's like a faith. You do it fucking relentlessly. You can't even see what's actually happening. You don't even register. I'm fucking different. But instead, it's like, I'm worrying about this, because a long time ago, 10 years ago, this happened like this, even though I'm a different person now, but I'm worried this will happen again. You're not here. You're not present. Worrying is having faith in everything you don't want to have happen. And because it's like germinating in your mind, it brings all those crises to you. But the way I know you're a soldier is because you're attached, and your value is your bank account. What you've built in this world. You have a house, you have an apartment, whatever you've done, your status, your shit. And you have to have that. Because you're not connected to your value as a woman. Because that value happens to be her feelings. It's why she doesn't keep in her bank account, in her vault of her feelings, pain. She says it to him. She says it to the parent. She says it to her colleague. But she doesn't say it after, she's about to bust. because then that looks disjointed and misplaced, because it has the momentum of many years of other pains. It's never related to what you're mad about at that moment. She says it as it's happened, and she uses feminine language. And if you don't know how to do that, I would book a one-on-one with me